right now on the show, we've got a very exciting thing here. I've made up for it. Everybody, we had T.I. scheduled for this morning. Douchebag slept in, didn't wake up for the interview. But a band, a group, if you're thinking of buying T.I.'s new CD, scratch that off your list and add Hot Chelle Rae's CD to the list because they came through. We've got Ryan and Nash from Hot Chelle Rae on the phone. Good morning, guys.
Good morning. I don't even know what else we can say.
Screw T.I. is what you can say.
I don't think I want to do that.
you can be our intro from now on.
Yes. Send him back to prison. All right. What's new with you? I mean, it's got to be a lot new. I mean, first, let's talk about Hot Chelle Rae, like history. Let's get into this. When did you guys get together and kind of tell us a story about the beginning of the group?
Well, it started with Nash and I writing songs together about a little over 6 years ago, and we wrote a lot of bad ones and a lot of good ones, and then throughout the process of writing songs, my younger brother was growing up and becoming a really, really good drummer, and Ian, our bass player, has been friends with Nash since they were kids, and, you know, the two halves kind of came together, and throughout the last year, our careers kind of exploded, so it's been like, you know, five solid years of you know, not making it plus one of doing it.
Yeah. Well, it's got to be, I gotta think that it is 100 times cooler when you're actually, like, mainstream successful.
Oh, man, it's different. It's different on a whole new level. You know, Nash always says that, you know, we spent all of that time playing shows trying to make people like us, and now we have fans that come to the shows, and it's just about entertaining them, and it lets you really get to do what you want to do.
Yeah,
I can't imagine the mindset of the bands that are like, I don't want to be too popular. I want to touch every single person's ears that we can, and, like, you know, make people dance and jump and
have a good time.
Yeah, I know that. I love that whole thing. Like, it's about the art, and, like, I don't care if anybody likes this. It's like, well, no, yeah, it's probably about the art at the core of it, but really, it's like the art's much easier to do when there's people who want the art already, and when you've got money.
Very much.
I love that quote.
Yeah. And what's really cool, too, is the opportunities that come with the success. You're not just the hits and being able to eat lobster for breakfast and stuff, but you get to do cool stuff like New Year's Rockin' Eve. That's a big honor.
It is the perfect way to end the year and the perfect way to start the next. It doesn't feel real.
No, I mean, the fact that Gaga and Pitbull and Justin Bieber, the three biggest artists that you can think of at this point in time, are going to be on the show that we're playing for 1 million people in Times Square, much less everyone that's watching on TV, is just going to be really one of the coolest moments we've had.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine that's just crazy. And what else is going on? So Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve obviously coming up. They're going to do it on New Year's Eve this year, which is fitting, I would say.
Yeah. They do it around the same time, I think, every year, on that same day.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great way to start off the year for us, since it's going to be a little overnight. We get to use it for the start of our next year, but we're going out on a headliner tour in February, our very first one, called the Beautiful Freaks Tour, and then right after that, we're going to Australia with Taylor Swift and coming back and resuming our tour. Very cool.
Are you guys opening for Taylor Swift over there?
Yeah, we are.
That's kind of a weird mix there, I guess. I mean,
you know, she's more of a pop star in other parts of the world than she's perceived as over here. She's kind of crossover in the States, but over there, country's not really like much of a genre.
Yeah. So they're just
and you know, it's funny because she's got some of the most amazing, you know, hardcore fans there are, and I feel like the fans are the same exact type that we have. She just has a ton more of them. So it's going to be really a perfect fit because they're going to be primed and ready to, you know, hopefully learn about our music, and not just Tonight, and I like it like that, but the rest of the music that we've been writing and recording this whole album.
Yeah, that's cool. When you guys go on tour, your tour, who do you have any support on that? Do you have anybody cool opening for you guys, or is it just straight Hot Chelle Rae?
Right now, we haven't announced the other guests on the tour except for one. There's a band that's coming out with us called Electric Touch, which we're very excited about. Very, very cool guys. And other than that, the other two are we're kind of lining those up right now. But right now, it's kind of exclusively like a Hot Chelle Rae. Cool. You know, we want to definitely brand it as our very first headliner.
I'm familiar with Electric Touch. I actually bought one of those for my girlfriend for Christmas.
Oh, yeah.
Earn you some brownie points?
Yeah, she said that's
well,
what
then
she
you're
wanted.
really going to like the opening act. It's going to be very familiar for you.
Perfect. I've definitely been there. Somebody just texted in on our text line, and they said, tell them to tell Justin Bieber about Cassie's story. We have I'm just going to put it out there just in case something happens, but there's a girl here in Billings who has a rare form of cancer. She's in like stage 4, bad news, but she really wants to meet the Biebs. That's like her wish. So when you're talking to Bieber, say, hey, there's this girl in Billings. It's all over Twitter and stuff, so he can find it, but that would be a sweet tie-in if not only she got to meet Justin Bieber, but also that it was all made possible by Hot Chelle Rae.
We can do our best. I mean, it's different when you know the dressing rooms next to you are people like Bieber and Gaga, so we might be able to swing it.
That would be awesome. I want to know, like, I like getting into the behind the scenes stuff with the music. Where do you guys? I mean, obviously you're making some money now and stuff's going well because of the fact that you've sold so many records and you're tonight number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and you guys are doing such big stuff in that regard. How many more hits do you have to have before you're like set? I always want to know that. Like, how many hits does an artist have to have where if they wanted to, they could just stop working and like buy a huge house and just be set for the rest of their life?
It depends on you really start breaking down the business part of it, but it just depends on how big the song was, how many formats it was in, and it really depends on who wrote it. But I don't know what the number is to be set because you've always got to tour and you've always got to be out there because regardless of how dope it is still a job. And it requires a lot of work. But I don't think that we want to know that number. I think we just want to continue on.
One of the people that we've written with in the past told us they're like, your first song puts you on tour. The second song will put you in a bus. The third song will put you in a private jet. And then the fourth hit will put you in a really, really nice private jet.
Yeah, with your logo on the side of it.
Hopefully that's true. We can be flying around when we get bored and take little trips here and there soon.
You'll know if our next phoner's from the sky.
Yeah, we'll know that things are going well there. Do people recognize you guys physically? Because Hot Chelle Rae is not like Lil Wayne, where you hear Lil Wayne's song and you know like, oh, Lil Wayne's that guy. He's got a very distinctive look. You guys, I'm assuming a lot more people know your music than they know like who you guys look like.
Are you saying that we don't have face tattoos and that's not
like where are the dreads?
It's happening more and more. It does happen on occasion, but I think we're a couple songs away from that type of recognition.
We did get recognized in New York recently. Ryan and Ian were walking down the street, and then I got recognized in the train on the way from Poughkeepsie to New York City. And in a place that big with so many people everywhere, that's when it's the most surprising.
That's cool. Yeah,
because you see lots of, just like everyone's walking around kind of ignoring the millions of people surrounding them. So for somebody to take notice like that is really cool.
That's got to be a cool feeling, to just be doing your thing and all of a sudden have somebody recognize you. And I love that too when people recognize me out in public until I get excited that they know who I am. And then after that, it's followed up with like, you suck. I'm like, oh.
That's like there were some people on the plane not too long ago. They're like, you guys were on, like Live with Kelly or something, right? They're like, yeah. They're like, okay. And that was it. So maybe you didn't like it or you did like it. What was the deal?
They just go around trying to validate everything they see on TV. Just confirming that you're
right. They're just confirming the fact that we did that.
Somebody on our Cellular Plus text line here wants to know what the biggest problem you guys have ever had backstage at a show is.
We've had a few Spinal Tap moments where we can't find the dressing room type of situation or find the stage, but I don't think we've ever had like massive problems backstage. We're a pretty easy crew to get along with. So
yeah, the biggest problem I could foresee, like remembering, would just be like not having a dressing room sometimes, and
before the bus.
Cramming into a van to change, and it'd be freezing or burning up, and everybody's like shivering or sweating and barely able to make it happen.
That would suck. I can imagine, but you're not gonna have problems like that anymore. What's
good to Bear doesn't have the stories come out of it. We survived.
Who knows what the next single is going to be? Is this something is that totally up to the record label? Is that up to management? Is that up to you guys? Like, how's that work? You've got, obviously Good Calls with Tonight, and I like it like that. Both of those are big. How do you know what the next one's going to be? Do you guys say
they pay attention to a variety of things. I mean, fans have a lot to do with it too. I mean, you can see what they love, and that's an important determining factor of because those are your people. Those are the people listening to the radio stations. Those are the people who are buying your music. But for us, it's really like we strived on this album to put a lot of singles on it and a lot of songs for movies and just a lot of stuff to express where we've been in the last year. And for us, I'm not as concerned with it. I think that we have a lot of choices, which is a wonderful problem to have.
Yes, definitely. And do you ever get mad though when somebody's like, tonight's the next single, and you're like, no, I wanted it to be this, or do you just trust them?
We definitely trust the experience of everyone on our team a lot, but fortunately we all line up pretty much the same every time with our opinions. So that's, it makes everything easier when the label and management and the band all can come together and agree that, okay, this does make sense for the next step. And, we don't know what it is right now, but I'm sure we'll all be thrilled and we're really proud of whatever we go with next.
I'm sure. Somebody said, wants to know, are you guys ever going to come to Billings, and have you ever been to Montana before?
No, we have not been to Montana, and Billings is definitely noted. We're trying to add as many dates as we can to the Beautiful Freaks tour, and right now we owe a couple to a few places, so Billings will put it on the list.
Excellent. Add it there. Also, somebody said, how many of you are single in Hot Chelle Rae?
3 of us are single.
3 are single. That's got to be
with that many. Ian has a girlfriend. The rest of us are single.
I mean, if we just average it out, that means all of us are 75% single.
Yeah, you can do. I like it that way. I'm sure Ian also likes it that way too. Yeah, I'm sure his girlfriend probably does not like it as much. But what's a normal day like for you? Like today, what's on the schedule? Obviously, doing some radio tours this morning, and then what happens for the rest of the day? Is it mostly publicity? Are you playing, or what's a day like for Hot Chelle?
There's never a normal day for us. I'm pretty sure.
They're always different, but if you're not, it's not real rock star stuff. You got to get up and work and stuff. And we get up. We've been up since about 7. We've been doing some phone calls, and we're gonna head over to the venue after this, do a little sound check. Probably do a little bit of hurrying up and waiting then after that, and then we'll play a show tonight, and we're gonna be, I guess, driving home.
Yeah,
for a couple days.
Go home and hang out with the families and throw a little Christmas party for our friends and recoup for 2 or 3 days before heading back out.
Very cool. That sounds like a good little relaxing time there. Well, everybody, what can we do to make you guys bigger? Obviously, buy the album.
We wouldn't mind if everybody buys whatever. Yeah.
If you want to buy the album, that's cool with us too. You can definitely follow us on Twitter and keep up with our shenanigans.
You're brave enough.
At Hot Chelle Rae, and just come see us on the Beautiful Freaks tour in 2012.
Excellent, Beautiful Freaks tour 2012, and also check them out on New Year's Rockin' Eve on ABC with some other people you might have heard of, like Justin Bieber and Gym Class Heroes, Nicki Minaj. It's going to be big. It's going to be very, very big. I want to see you guys.
It's the biggest for us so far.
do something crazy on stage. Like, don't just play. Like, somebody drop trow, something crazy.
I think we're going to dress up like LMFAO and do some wiggling.
Yeah, we'll just do exactly what they do.
I like it. It's a Hot Chelle Rae LMFAO style. I like it. Well, Ryan and Nash, it's been great talking to you guys. So congratulations on all the success. Keep Billings on the list, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you guys again in the future when you got something else.
My pleasure. I'm sure you will.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great morning.
Thank you.
The Big J Show. Weekday mornings from 6 till 10 on Billings' #1 hit music station, Hot 101.9.